Mortal Kombat finally drops the Kombat Pack 2, and now that it's fully announced, you can see that when they have the whole collection together, it's a darker output versus what was originally announced on Kombat Pack 1 with Omni-Man, Homelander, Peacemaker, and everyone else. This guest character set, you can see that it goes back to the darker frames, and I think this is a more reminiscent of MK11, MKX. So let's go ahead and drop down some of our initial thoughts when you look from left to right. You can see Ghostface is the first one. Now, this is going to be very interesting because Ghostface is not really known as like some martial artist or anything. He's very sneaky, he's very stealth, and he's kind of smart. If you play like games like Dead by Daylight, you understand how he kind of plays. And that is kind of a very good virtue of how he is in totality. What I do recognize what will be great for this game, because this game does have a whole lot of, is dark humor. When it comes to fighting necessarily, of course, everybody knows Ghostface can't fight, but Scream is back to OG type things that are more in reminiscent with Freddy coming out of MK9. And then, of course, like MKX, we get Jason and everything like that. And just speaking of them, I just can't believe we haven't gotten Michael Myers yet. It still breaks my damn heart. Y'all got to tell me, like, Fortnite got Michael Myers before Mortal Kombat is insane. And also another thing, the fact that we never got Freddy versus Jason, at least in the same combat pack, it still breaks my heart also. At least we got Alien Predator. But Freddy not being able to be along with Jason is insane to me to this day. But hopefully they go back and reiterate other stuff. But Ghostface kind of reminds me of those, right? Bringing the slashers. Leatherface is also an MKX. So things like that, the dark humor overall. We all know that Ghostface from Scream, he has tons of it. So you know there's going to be a lot of funny pickup lines. There's going to be so much things that go along, especially with the monologues with each character. I feel that that's where he's going to shine the most. The gameplay, I don't know. I am optimistic to see what every player is going to like play like. But Ghostface in totality, I am really intrigued because from somebody who doesn't know any type of like, will never thought like who can fight. But Leatherface was like that, but Leatherface is a little bit more believable when we saw him because Leatherface is just stocky and huge anyway, so you can make up some attributions to that. So Ghostface is going to be pretty fun. He's smaller, he's lean, he might have some like just gimmicks. I'm not sure how much of that fighting credential he's gonna have or output, but it is gonna be very creative, I would say, in my opinion. Now when it comes to Noob, it is a mixed bag. I'm not too sure how much people like the aesthetic of Noob, but people do love that Noob is back. I for one am one of those that is very excited that Noob Saibot is back. This is incredible. Now how they do integrate him, at least what they said in the DLC story, is that Havoc has a huge part as to what he's doing to complete Bihan, hence we get Noob Saibot in this DLC expansion. I am excited to really recognize what's going down with that. Is it still like a death portrayal or what's really happening? Maybe a fusion of some sort, maybe a scientific output, or whatever it is. We get Noob and he definitely looks legit, still brings a lot of components. Having Ghostface and Noob back to back again reiterates that this game is going towards a darker approach this time around. The DLC also looks very dark also. So this is very, very great for those that admire at least what Mortal Kombat used to be back then, or at least up until Mortal Kombat 11, like X and 11, 9, and just the very, even Ultimate MK3 days. We also got all those skins and everything like that, the classics, the 1995 movie skins, then we got the Ultimate MK3 skins. Even if you pre-order, you get additional Ultimate MK3, I think Sub-Zero and Noob skin. Now that Noob skin Ultimate MK3 looks fire, so I can't wait to utilize that with Noob. That's gonna be a great time. Next is gonna be one of the most definitely controversial ones, at least two back to back. I'll talk with them at the same time. We're looking at Sector and Cyrax. So both of these have a gender swap. They are now females in this timeline. For one, I really enjoy this because we're going a combat pack initially without getting women until this was announced. So this is pretty cool. Now we do have some women arriving, and I like it because I think the females initially are a little bit faster gameplay too in this game for some odd reason. Aside from some certain characters, but I do believe when I played like Sindel, Ashra, Tanya, especially Li Mei, even at times Kitana and Melina, I feel they got like more of a speed attribute to the game, in which we love about Mortal Kombat. A lot of casuals like the game to be super fast, so the Cyrax Sector, I like the aesthetic, their approach, their skin. It looks cool. I like it. It gives you, I don't know, Sector kind of gave some amazing Spider-Man feels, and Cyrax looks like it goes back to the classic initial component. I want to know how they became Cyborg and what is their story behind all Lin Kuei and everything like that. I can't wait to really know what's really going down and what's happening, how the phone call was made or how all this was initiated. That's going to be so cool to hear like the origin of them two now in this timeline. So shout out Liu Kang, shaking it up a little bit. I am very excited for these two characters, probably the most on this list, which is odd because I do want to play all these characters, of course. But I am very excited for the Cyrax Sector. I can't wait to really try out what they're doing, especially the fact that they do have their male counterparts on as a cameo. So it's going to be kind of cool to kind of integrate both of those and have some fun with that. Next, we have Conan the Barbarian. Arnold is back once again. Now, this could possibly mean that they're looking to possibly get an actual Arnold voice actor this time around, or they just wanted to get this, I don't know, just to peel back. It's cool. It reminds us of like the Rambo essence and all of that. So I am a huge fan of this going down. I know a lot of OGs of Mortal Kombat, or old folks that know Conan the Barbarian. We're all gonna love this. Again, I'm one of those people that are just OG. We're old school, and this is gonna be really, really freaking dope. And I am excited. And going back to Cyrax Sector, they do show some gameplay of Cyrax Sector and Noob, so I do love all of that. And they all look exciting in their own right. So it's not a lot of gameplay though, but they do break down enough. And then one more time, just capitalizing, I feel that Cyrax Sector is something to really be excited about. It is a huge change. I'm not gonna necessarily count out Sonya and Jade just yet. I think they'll probably be in Combat Pack 3. I know it's not over. Hopefully more game modes and all that. But yeah, I am excited. With Conan the Barbarian, though, it's cool. He's going to be that brawler that we all know. It's Arnold, you know. Of course, one of the greatest bodybuilders ever, if not the greatest bodybuilder in history, to put it on the map. And, you know, him as an actor was so cool, was controversial. And he played that character. This was a younger Arnold in this character. So it is going to be interesting to really see how he capitalizes on here with the monologues. Cyrax Sector, I want to see those monologues also. So again, these characters really, really dope. It does have a darker vibe though, so I still love that. T1000 to end it, and T1000, of course, Terminator. So another shout out to Arnold right there to his left, or his right, our left. And I think that this is cool. This is a huge dark approach, also the T1000. So a lot of great stuff, kind of like gonna give you that big boss man vibe. It's gonna give you that striker type vibe, you know. It's gonna be cool, and I'm excited for this. I love the approach to this, and then they announced animalities after, and hopefully some additional stuff. This content, in my opinion, was well needed. This pack looks a lot better than the first pack. I know a lot of people are, maybe if you're in recent times, you know, the superhero-esque anti-superhero movement, especially with the boys and you know, Omni-Man and all that, really Invincible being at peak levels right now, top tier. And Peacemaker, the show, was incredible, by the way. Shout out to WB for like all that stuff, of course. But when you look at this combat pack, I feel that this is way more the origin of Mortal Kombat that we all love and adore. You got MK9, which Freddy Kratos, which was significant in what we see now. MK8, basically MKDC, gave us an idea of crossovers, and then MK9 capitalized on having guests. Had great feedback, which in my opinion is still the greatest game in history, the greatest Mortal Kombat game. MKX, though, really took it to a higher level. You had Alien Predator, you had Leatherface, you had Jason, and I am super duper excited. At 11, you also have some great stuff too, especially with Terminator. We all know how that's going down. And they're doing great. I know people are going to be super split. I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen a lot of people, but just look at this photo. The dark photo brings us back to the darker times of MK. The story mode trailer looks darker again. I felt it was very fruitful and very aesthetic and colorful MK1 the first time around year one, which was cool, right? It was supposed to be this peaceful restart, a re-blossom of the era. Now we got all this crazy stuff going down, the Havoc aspect, a lot of Havoc, you know, no pun intended. You got the Reigns Chaos, the Chaos Reigns, and now I'm like, okay, now there's destruction going down. This combat pack looks a lot darker now, which is very good. At least an obvious darker approach. I'm not saying Homelander is not incredible at what he does, Peacemaker or Omni-Man, but that's the obvious anti-superhero movement. Injustice-esque appeal. This now gives us Mortal Kombat once again that we all loved and adore, which is kind of giving us that MK11 vibe, which the game overall does feel like it's like MK12 in my opinion, because when you're dealing with the multiverse, the timeline, the end of MK1, it's basically MK11.5, the ending, hashtag spoiler alert. But yeah, I love this with the animalities being introduced, with these characters looking darker, with everything. I hope they do give us a lot more content with the skins and with everything that was going down. They're sending a message this time around, and I just cannot wait for them to continuously help. Now, all of this is all great. My two main gripes, of course, I'm not going to end it always with just thinking everything's perfect. There's two things that just definitely need to be changed. One being the core gameplay still. We still need the gameplay to be a lot, at least speed that thing up. It looks like it was getting faster like after Ermac. People are getting newer strings, more launches. Like, keep giving us that. Let the characters fly. Let them be busted for a while. Let them be broken. Like, let things just fly. And Mortal Kombat is fun when everything just, you're on a rampage and it's brutal and you're going ballistic. And then last but not least is definitely the invasions mode. A lot of us just don't really enjoy the invasions mode. So I feel that if they're going to still keep invasions, keep bringing us stuff like animalities, maybe the crypt, try to sneak that in a little bit. Try to bring back some game modes like test your luck, test your might stuff like the way they already kind of did. Just keep bringing those, ramping those up. And test your luck would be really, really cool too. I think that'd be fun to like share with your viewers and run with that. If you're a creator or a streamer like myself. Just any other type of game modes that you can really inherit and put into this game on top of like more arcade stories, of course, and just enhancing all of that, and maybe more progression type things what we can do to help us grind the game a lot more aside from just Combat League and ranked. I mean, in online casual. I think that's gonna be pretty cool. But I am excited. I'm very optimistic. You got the gender swap. Sector, Cyrax, Noob, Barbarian, Conan. Then you got T1000. You got Ghostface, which Ghostface I'm so excited for. I can't wait to see how he plays. It is going to be a interesting combat pack where this feels more like Mortal Kombat moving forward. This is what I initially wanted when we got Mortal Kombat 1. A lot of the characters now, a lot of the skins with the classics and all that. And now we got this type of combat pack. This is where it's going to take Mortal Kombat to a higher level if the core gameplay can really get revitalized and get really jumping, man. So I am optimistic. Far from perfect, but a damn good step forward, man. Y'all let me know y'all's thoughts. Peace.